Hey, what's up guys, it's Walkit. Today I'm making a Deepwoken meta PvP race tier list. I haven't seen this be talked about, and honestly some of the races on this list are pretty broken, and I'll get onto why, starting with Azuret. Azuret is a Garbo race because its passive is free auto deduct, which one could argue lets you get steadfast for free, a boon that lets you take less armor damage, but besides that, it barely helps your PvP. The stat bonuses are nice, as +2 willpower and +2 charisma lets you get cards like neuroplasticity slightly sooner. And one thing that isn't talked about is how Adjets also start with higher rep with all factions, which really is only important if you're trying to get Contractor, because getting neutral ministry rep would be less annoying. Overall, I would place Adjet at high C tier because of that. Alright, next up is Kaynor. Kaynor as a PvP race is slept on heavily. People think Kaynor is ass because the dealing and taking 50% less damage to teammates would be nearly useless because, like, when are you hitting teammates? But it's actually bugged and way stronger than you think. The passive actually classifies damage from Shade Devour and fall damage as damage from your teammates, which makes Shade Devour actually viable for once, and gives you more fall resistance than Tyrants, the literal bird race. Agamatsu made a video on this, so go check it out if you're still confused, but overall these attributes as well as +2 strength and charisma put Kaynor at mid to high A tier. Here, let's do Capra. Capra, I don't think I'm the first to say this, but this race is pretty useless. The race just has random abilities depending on your variant, ranging from sanity regen, health regen, and the ability to buff others' food for some reason. We don't talk about that. These abilities might seem helpful in ganks, especially the health regen one, but the person has to be sitting at a campfire to be buffed. And why would you go to regen someone who's been sitting at a campfire for the last 5 minutes while your entire guild is getting boss rated? Because of this, Capra is C tier due to how situational it is, and +2 intelligence / willpower as a stat boost kinda sucks. Next up is Seltor. Seltors are shit. Seltor's passive is 10% higher ship health, 20% faster ship turning speed for some reason, and 20% ship discount. Like, bro, this race is literally garbage. There's no point in being Seltor. Like, why would you need 20% faster ship turning? Like, this ain't Sea of Thieves. What are you doing? The race has +2 intelligence and +2 charisma, but there's no saving this race. It's already over. F tier, straight garbage. Next, I might as well just get this out of the way. I'm gonna do Crusid. This might be a hot take, but in my opinion, this is the ugliest race on the tier list. The passive basically gives you ESP on people who hit you, which is pretty ass, because why would you need a highlighted outline on someone who is right next to you, hitting you? The only acceptable case of this being even remotely good in PvP is if you're like getting bolt pierced or something, and like you don't know where the person is. But besides that, this race is high D tier because at least it gets +2 agility and +2 charisma. Here, I'm gonna do Etrian. Etrian I thought was a good race, but after researching, it might actually not be that good. Etrian makes passive status effects, good or bad, fade away more quickly. This might seem good, like maybe if the person you're fighting is using Thunder, you would get stunned less, but nope. According to the wiki, the passive is bugged and only affects chilling, potion effects, and suffocate. It's still more helpful than Capra though, so I would put this race at B tier, and the +2 agility and +2 intelligence is a nice bonus. Alright, next up is Felnor. This race is actually so cracked for track star builds and chasing people. The race gets 25% faster climb and 50% faster climb when climbing on wooden surfaces like trees. This might not seem like a lot, but with the amount of runners there on Deepwoken, it actually helps so much. And also +2 agility and +2 charisma is super good too, so I'll be placing it in A tier. Alright, I'm gonna do Ganymedes. Ganymedes are top tier. It's definitely at least A tier, but is it S tier? Nah, actually it's A tier. Ganymede's passive of less constant sanity drain in the depths is lowered, and also the cost of dealing with deep shrines is also lowered by 1 knowledge. Because of this, Ganymedes are perfect for people who sweat when making builds and min-max everything, as you can stay in the depths longer, and the cost of rerolling talents and mantras is cheaper. All of this creates stronger builds more efficiently and makes Ganymedes A tier, but if it had a better stat lineup instead of +2 intel and willpower, it would have been S. Alright, Gremmers. Gremmers actually aren't that bad for PvP, definitely higher than Azuret. Similarly to Azuret, it has a passive that lets you get a boon for almost free because the compass that Gremmers spawn with also comes with reduced hunger drain, letting them take Glutton with minimized downsides and have a boon of their choice. The bonus attributes are surprisingly good, consisting of +2 strength and +2 fortitude, but bottlenecks by the passive. I'll place this race at B tier. Alright, after Gremmer, I'm gonna do Khan. Khan, I already know this, it's going into A tier. Its passive lets you equip weapons 3 stat points below the requirements, and you can create busted champion sword builds with only 37 medium. 3 might not seem like a lot, trust me, I would know, but you'd be surprised what talent combinations are only possible with those 3 extra stat points. And the race also has +2 strength and +2 agility, which is pretty good. Let's do Tyrants. We'll do Vesperians last. Tyrants are alright for PvP, just for the fall damage reduction, but it's really situational. And the Glider is helpful, but you can't even use it in combat, so it's kind of just there. At least the race is drippy, but the +2 willpower and +2 agility don't really make up for it, so I'm going to place it in C tier. Last, but definitely not least, is Vesperian. Vesperian is a race I think of when I think of meta PvP races. There's literally a guy in top 10 Chime with the name V Vesperian. That's how meta it is. Vesperians spawn with Chitin, which is a passive that grants 5% extra damage reduction and stacks with Exoskeleton. This doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, 5% physical armor on a 500 HP build has an effective health of 525 HP, basically giving you 25 extra health for every build you make. Along with the extra stats being +2 willpower and +2 fortitude, this lets players get reinforced armor earlier, as those attributes are both required for the talent. All in all, this puts Vesperians at S tier. If you're making a build that's stacking a lot of damage reductions, you basically need a Vesperian. So yeah, that wraps up the tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed. If so, leave a subscription for me. If not, leave a hateful comment if you absolutely hated me and wish I died or like fell off a cliff. It's up to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.